has been a while since I've done a what I eat in a day video. I've now lost 81 pounds, and I attribute that to two things. Definitely a change in my diet and following both the OPTAVIA fueling plan along with my WW Weight Watchers and limiting my alcohol. So those are two major changes that I've made in my life over this past year and a half. So here is how I eat in a day. So I now eat every 2 to 3 hours. So I eat 6 times a day. I'm very regimented on making sure that I eat 6 times a day. Every 2 to 3 hours, I get in a ton of water, but I also want to show you the things that I eat, because it's not like I'm eating 6 huge meals a day. I'm not. So about every 2 to 3 hours, I have about 100 calories, with the exception of my evening dinner meal. It's twice, it's probably anywhere from 400 to 600 calories for that meal. But here is my first time I'm eating today. It's what, as OPTAVIA calls, a fueling. But basically it's about 100 calories, 110 calories, and so many grams of protein and so many grams of fat, and it's lower carb. But this is the blueberry biscuit. And so I've made it, and it's time to eat it now. And so I'm gonna kind of show you what it looks like. This fueling, I haven't had this food very much. It's been out of stock. So I made it this morning because I got a couple boxes of the OPTAVIA biscuit mix in. You can see the blueberries in there, and then that Laughing Cow cheese that I use is the light Swiss. So if you follow the My WW program, when I put this in my tracker, the entire thing is 3 of the personal points. So this is kind of what it looks like. You can see, and I've put it looks like cream cheese in there, but that's really that Laughing Cow light Swiss, and it tastes like cream cheese. You're not gonna taste any heavy Swiss flavor. And then the blueberries. It's really good, really good. So I'm gonna take you through my day. This is the first time I'm eating today. It's a Sunday right now, so I slept in a little bit later, but it's first thing in the morning, and so first time I'm eating. And OPTAVIA does recommend that you eat within an hour of waking up for your metabolism, and that is pretty much what I do every day. So I'm going to show you what I do consistently day by day. It's been a couple hours since I've eaten, and so it's time for another fueling to fuel my body. So I'm going to have some cereal with some almond milk, and this will last me from getting hungry for another couple hours. All right, we're a few hours later, and this is a really good example of why I love using the OPTAVIA fuelings. As you can see, I'm out in my car and I am running some errands, I'm busy on the go, but it's time to eat again. And I can tell that for a few reasons. Number one, my stomach is telling me I'm hungry and it's time to eat again. The other one is that I set alarms. I set alarms when I started eating every 2 to 3 hours to remind myself it was time to stop and eat. And my alarm just went off. But I'm so conditioned into doing it, I think by now if I didn't set my alarms, my body would still tell me there's a hunger in my belly that says it's time to eat. Now, not eat a lot, but something fast and simple is easy. That's easy for me to put some good protein in my body. And so I'm going to have one of the OPTAVIA creamy double peanut butter crisp bar. So it's 110 calories. 11 grams of that are protein. And so it will satisfy me, and then it's got like 3 grams of fat. When I plug this into my Weight Watchers app, it comes up as 3 Weight Watchers personal points for me. And so I know the nutrition that I'm getting in this bar is going to have enough protein to satiate me for the next few hours until I eat again. And so the next meal that I have will probably be my lean and green, because I'll probably be back home in about 3 hours. But however, just in case I'm not back home to cook what I'm planning to have for dinner tonight, I brought along another fueling that I can have in 2 or 3 hours if I find that I'm out and about and not gonna be home to eat. It makes it really easy for me, and the nutrition is great. Anyway, so 3rd time I'm gonna eat today. Gonna have the bar, go do my running around, and next time I see you, we'll see how my day goes. I'll either still be out running around or probably be coming home to fix my dinner for tonight. We'll see. Okay, I am home from shopping. It's been exactly 3 hours since I ate last, and I tell you, I'm ready to eat for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and have my lean and green meal tonight right now, and then I will still eat a couple more times today, but I'm having my taco salad that I make with my Quest chips, so it's a delicious meal. This is a good example of what I eat on a daily basis, consistent basis for my lean and green or my dinner meal. So it typically has around 6 ounces of lean protein. So these chips actually are really lean protein. And then I have 3 or 2.5 ounces of lean ground beef on here, and then I have 1 ounce of the light cheese, so that incorporates the rest of the protein. And then the other part of my lean and green meal that I have on a daily basis, along with my lean protein, is 3 servings of non-starchy vegetables. So I've got this on a bed of romaine lettuce, so that counts as 2 of my vegetable servings, non-starchy green. And then I've got 1 serving of tomatoes. And yes, I do weigh out my vegetables to make sure that I'm getting enough, because that's where a lot of vitamins and minerals and carbohydrates do come into play as well. But it's important to make sure that I'm getting enough vegetables in my diet. So I've got a great big bowl of taco salad to eat, and that's my meal for the day, the big meal. And like I said, most of the time, if you look at the calorie content of the meals that you're eating, if you're eating this way, you're gonna get, 300 to 500, maybe 600 calories, depending on what you're having at your main meal of the day, your main lean and green. But out of that, it's going to be portioned for, a great amount of lean protein and then lower carbohydrates. That's the way I'm eating, and that's the way I'm eating on a consistent basis. So getting a lot of vegetables in as well. Now, when I track this in my Weight Watchers, because I'm doing that as well, it's good to note that this meal with the Quest chips, the protein chips, and all of this, it comes up to 13 of my WW points a day. So that's how it tracks on my plan, and that's kind of how it works into my day. So I'll be back the next 2 times I eat today. Okay, one of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about is what I drink in a day. So on a consistent basis, I drink at least 64 ounces of water every single day. I start it in the morning after I finish my coffee, and I am a black coffee drinker, and every morning when I get up, I probably have 3 to 4 cups of black coffee. I drink it in the morning, and I finish it probably by, I would say, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. But I go ahead and have my black coffee, and it does have caffeine in it. But after that, I don't have any caffeinated beverages the rest of the day. So I drink my black coffee first, and then I start on my water for the day. And I pretty much get 64 ounces of water in by 3 p.m. I sip on it all day long. You know, it's rare that I don't have it finished by 3 p.m. Then in the evening time, I have things like decaffeinated iced tea. And then the other big thing that I drink a lot of is hot decaffeinated tea in the evening. I also do sometimes some hot decaffeinated coffee in the evening, but I've already got all of my water in for the day. So that's what I'm having right now. It's the hot tea that's the peppermint flavor. I really like it a lot. And I have trouble sleeping if I have anything with a bunch of caffeine in it past noon. So I have just learned pretty much to stay away from caffeinated beverages at all after my morning black coffee. The other thing I want to talk to you about is alcohol, because this is a big change for me. Back when I started my health journey in October of 2020, I was still drinking on a consistent basis pretty much every single night. Even though when I first started this journey back with Weight Watchers, I knew exactly how to track my wine or my light beers, and I always saved myself enough points so that I could have 1 or 2 glasses every evening of wine. Or, you know, a light beer of some sort. And I have done that for years. I can say pretty much probably for the past 15 years, I've been a nightly drinker. It has been my main way of coping from stress and unwinding during the day. Now, I've never been a day drinker. I've never done that. I can remember from a young age, my grandma, she was a big beer drinker, and she would always go out. They kept a keg on their front porch, and they had a separate refrigerator for it, and she would be watching her watch, and she wouldn't drink in the morning, but as soon as it hit noon, she said she could have her beer. So she'd be watching her watch. She said you're not an alcoholic if you don't drink before noon. But then she'd drink beer all day long and all night too. Looking back, did she have a problem with liquor? She never seemed drunk to me, but you know, I was a young kid too. But I will tell you, having drinks every single night really made it hard for me to lose weight. And in fact, I think that's how I gained a bunch of weight over the past few years, that I really wasn't concentrating on weight loss at all or my health. And so back in October 2020, I still was drinking, but not as much. It wasn't until this past summer, last July, when I started with OPTAVIA, that they definitely do not recommend alcohol at all. And so I really wanted to try to do everything exactly like they recommended. And so for the first 30 days, James and I both went dry and did totally alcohol free. And that was a real eye-opener to me. Now, that was back in July, so I didn't have a lot of work stress. But I have learned over the course of this school year that that's one of those things that I have learned that I needed to cope in a different way to my stress than drinking every night. And so this school year, now we've gone back to having a glass of wine or 2 once a weekend. That's it. We don't drink every night anymore. We drink hot tea, decaffeinated coffee. My husband's a huge coffee drinker, so he has coffee in the evening. But we don't drink alcohol anymore in the evening time on a consistent basis. Like, we went out last night, it was Saturday night last night, and we did have a glass of wine with dinner, and then we went out to a jazz club, and I had a martini and he had a beer. but that was it. You know, Monday through Friday, no liquor. Today, Sunday, no liquor. It has been an eye-opening experience for me for this past school year, learning how to do that and manage my stress. And I think that's been really good for me. But one of the things that I've come to love is the hot beverage at night. You know, I love drinking all day long, but I'm fine with water or coffee or in the evening time, decaffeinated things too. I like having a beverage and I like feeling hydrated. But the liquor has been a change. Now, OPTAVIA still doesn't recommend that you have liquor. When you get to your goal weight, they still don't recommend it. That doesn't fit into my lifestyle. It still fits in my lifestyle to have a date night on a Friday or Saturday night with James, and we go out and we have a nice dinner and we have a cocktail or two. That fits in my life. And of course that fits into my Weight Watchers personal points plan too. I use my extra weekly points for those types of things. But on a consistent basis, I'm showing you today how I eat and I drink. And consistently, that's what I do 6 days out of each week, at least. On the 7th day, which is our date night typically, I do things differently. I still enjoy my cocktail or two, but that's once a week or that's on vacations. That's not how I do on a daily basis. So I'm showing you today what I do on a daily basis, and it's got me to the point of where I am right now, and it's something that I feel like I can sustain, because I can sustain eating the way I'm eating right now 6 days a week, and you know, just having that cocktail or two once a week. I can sustain that, and I'm very comfortable with that, and so is James. So anyway, just wanted to share with you what I drink in a day. It's been a couple hours since my main dinner meal, so it is time for a fueling. It's time to eat again. And so I made this chocolate chip cookie dough cookie. You bake it in the microwave for a minute after I mix it up, and it comes out like a hot baked cookie, kind of like you get at Applebee's or a restaurant, how they take a cookie and they bake it fresh in the oven. It's kind of tastes like that. Of course, it has a lot less sugar in it than those that you get in a restaurant, but it's really delicious. It's not as sweet, but once you get a lot of sugar out of your diet, you don't need things to taste super sweet to you. But it is delicious, and you saw the number of protein grams that this has in it, 110 calories, but look at all the protein that you're getting. So when I put this in my Weight Watchers app, it scans in at 3 personal points for me. So this will be the 5th time I've eaten today. One more time to eat before I hit the sack for bed tonight. Okay, this is time for my last time to eat today. So I'm going to have a mixture of the honey mustard and onion sticks, and then the snack of olive oil and sea salt popcorn mixed together. And so for OPTAVIA, that's my last fueling of the day and my optional snack of the day. And when I calculate this into Weight Watchers, it comes out to 4 points for this bowl of a little snack for right before I'm going to watch some TV, and then we'll be hitting the bed in about an hour. I hope this video just gave you a little bit of idea of what I eat in a day on a normal basis. And so you can kind of see I spread things out throughout the day, still get in a lot of nutrition, and I track it all. It's helped me tremendously to eat this way, day by day, regular, consistent basis.